welcome to the Pelvic Power Podcast. My name is Penny, and I am the host of this lovely space. I am a pelvic floor yoga teacher who teaches people with pelvic pain how to use movement, breathwork, and body awareness to ease and manage their pain while living a pleasurable life. In this space, we'll be talking about all things taboo because we love it, and how to support your lovely pelvis and your lovely self on this journey that you are on. I'm very happy that you are here, and I hope that you enjoy this episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Pelvic Power Podcast. I'm very happy that you are here today. I hope that you are enjoying your summer. And if you live with lichen sclerosus, I hope that you have implemented any of the 31 things that we're talking about, what we are doing for our lichen sclerosus this summer. If you haven't checked out this episode, go ahead and do so. And then I want to know what you're implementing. How are you supporting your lichen sclerosus this summer? Because I want to know, because we're taking those habits with us throughout the rest of the year. But welcome back. Welcome to today's episode. I think I'm going to name this episode, You Are Allowed to Ask for What You Want. And if you're into manifestation, you're probably like, yeah, let's go, because you're allowed to ask for what you want. But that is not the case today. But you are allowed to ask for what you want in every sense. So, dating, we're going to talk a little bit about dating today. Dating in general can be challenging. Dating with pelvic pain can be even more challenging. Am I correct? Yes, I'm correct. Because you know what it's like. And I went on a date recently. I've been dating this guy, I've been seeing this guy. And our first date together, we ended up kissing at the end of that date. And I stopped the kiss and I asked him if he could do something different. And then the next day, I was talking to my sister and I was, telling her about the date as you do, but in between sisters, I was sharing that we kissed and what happened. And my sister went, "What, you told him that? What? You can't do that. That's rude." The thing is, you're allowed to ask for what you want. And I think that many of us, especially as women, were brought up thinking that we're not allowed to ask for what we want, especially when it comes to anything that is sexually. But you are not here to just please the other person. You are allowed to ask for what you want. You're allowed to know what you want. And there's no shame in that. You can ask for what you want in bed, outside of bed, but especially in both cases, but also in bed, you're allowed to ask for what you want when it comes to what you like sexually. Because sometimes I feel like we make ourselves smaller and we push away the things that we actually want. And I think sometimes that could actually manifest itself in the body. So, for example, you're having sex with someone, they're doing something that you do not like. Do you tell them that you don't like it? Or do you just pretend like you do? Why are you in that situation if you do not like what they're doing? And trust me, this takes work. Like sometimes I get to do that work too. Sometimes I have to do that work too. But if you put yourself in a situation where you really want to be intimate with someone, you've chosen to be with this person, it's not just about them. It's about you as well. You're allowed to ask for what you want. If something is hurting you when you're having sex, do you tell them? Because they will not know. How will they know? And living with pelvic pain, you know your body the best. You know your body the best. They do not know your body as well as you do. Your body is probably not going to function as other bodies. And especially, I'm saying this as someone that lives with lichen sclerosus, because I tear very easily. They will not know that I've torn if I do not tell them. They're just gonna keep it going. They're just gonna keep it going. You have to use your voice to ask for what you want. And this is also where your pleasure practice comes in, and this we've spoken about this so many times. What do you like? What turns you on? You're allowed to ask for what you want. There's no shame in that. Because pleasure is such a huge part of life, and sharing that pleasure with someone else It should be fun. It should not be something that you have to go through. Like just me saying that and thinking that you only have to go through it, it makes me feel very, very constricted. Like I'm pulling back. I'm contracting. Like just thinking about the fact that if you're being intimate with someone and you feel like that's not the right intimacy for you, that makes me contract. You're allowed to ask for what you want. And living with pelvic pain, sometimes you might feel lonely because you're scared of putting yourself out there, and it's fucking hard to put yourself out there with pelvic pain. And then you might put yourself in situations just because you want to be intimate with someone, you want to feel that intimacy. But are you actually ready for the sex part? Do you want to do the sex part? Do you want to get naked with this person? Or do you only want to make out a little bit? Again, you're allowed to ask for what you want. You can make out with someone and then they think that, oh, this is going to turn into sex. No, you communicate with them that this is to the extent. This is where it's going to end. But this is fun. Can we keep it going? It takes the pressure off of your body in a sense. Like if you are stressed about being intimate with someone and you don't even want to start making out with someone because you're worried that it's gonna lead to intimacy without clothes on and perhaps lead to sex. Talk to the person. You're allowed to ask for what you want. Well, right now, I only feel safe and comfortable and regulated in just making out. To me, this is what I like right now. This is what I want. So there's a couple of different things to look at it. You're allowed to ask for what you want to the extent that you want it. And you're allowed to ask for what you want when something doesn't feel good or something doesn't align with you or you want something to feel good and they're just at the precipice of it, but they're not quite there. You can tell them, this is what I like. This is what I want. You're allowed to ask for what you want. We are going to Greece, baby. Next year in 2026, I'll be hosting a Pilates and yoga retreat. Between July 24th and 31st, we'll be going to hang out in Crete together. The early bird price for my community is $18.50, and this includes the accommodation, group transportation to and from the airport, dinner at a different restaurant every evening, breakfast daily, a Greek cookout, cooking class, a speedboat trip to the Belus Lagoon, don't know if I'm saying that right, and Barbusa Island, probably butchering that. We're going to an olive oil facility and a day trip to Ala Fasano Beach, which is voted the world's best beach, day trip to Falasarna Beach, and it includes daily yoga and Pilates classes. The early bird price is available until August 15. Only a $500 deposit is required by that date to reserve your spot, and the remaining balance isn't due until March. Let's go to Greece together. I cannot wait to see you there. And as I was saying, your pleasure practice, sometimes you might not even know what you want. Maybe you don't even know what you want. How can you explore what you want by yourself with yourself? Or how can you explore it with other people to the extent that you are comfortable with? Sometimes I feel like we're holding back so much. No, I'm not going to say we. I'm talking from my own personal experience here. But we're holding back and we're scared of having intercourse or whatever that may be, that we're holding back in all of the areas that could lead to intimacy, whether that is physical or emotional connection. What if you dip your toe in a little bit? What if you go on a date? What if you're not used to dating because you're scared of dating, because you live with pelvic pain, because you're going to have that conversation with someone? What if you went on one date with just one person? Just to dip your toe in it, to see how it goes. What if you went on one date and you feel in yourself that I really want to kiss this person? You kiss that person, and that's the extent of that date. Venture a little bit, see where you feel comfortable in in the stage that you are in. Like if you are so scared, because I've been there myself, if you're so scared of dating or what it would lead to, how is this going to pan out? You don't know how it's going to pan out. But in our head, we're probably making it a lot. We go worst case scenario straight away. I don't know about you, but I go worst case scenario straight away. What if you take it one little baby step at a time? You venture a little bit, you try it out, you hold hands. It's not just about the other person. You're allowed to ask for what you want. Okay, great. I'm gonna go on a date today. And then if you feel like it, you want to hold their hand, you can ask, "Can I hold your hand?" Or just go for it. But also, clear communication. See how it goes. Venture. Ask for what you want. This is a step process of getting to realizing what you actually want. If you do not know what you want, what do I like? What do I want? What do I want to experience? I don't know. Okay, well, we need to figure it out because we're here and you're supposed to feel good in life. You're supposed to experience pleasure. Take it one little baby step at a time. This is for all my single people out there that are listening in. If you are scared of dating, how can you take it one step at a time? You do not have to have sex with this person when you go on a date. Maybe you just go on a date. Maybe you go on a second date and you just kiss. You can take it at the pace that you want to. You can set that boundary for yourself. That's okay. You're allowed to ask for what you want. I'm just going to imprint that onto your brain. You're allowed to ask for what you want. There's no shame in knowing what you want. There's no shame in asking for it. It is a power. It's a power that you have. You have the power. You're powerful. You're allowed to ask for what you want. You're a fucking goddess. I've said it before. You're allowed to ask for what you want because you're a fucking goddess. And you're working on that goddess energy every time you take one step further in knowing yourself better, knowing your body better. This was just a short little juicy episode for you this week. I hope this landed well with you. If you have any epiphanies, if you want to talk more about dating, send me DM, send me an email. I want to know it all. What are you going through in life? Where are you in your dating era? What are you going through right now? Tell me everything because I want to know. Until next time, remember to look after your beautiful body. Remember that you are a goddess and you're allowed to ask for what you want.